Go.
I'm Coach Stephen Arnold, and today we're going to go through some training, breathing and bracing techniques to keep you safe and training at optimal performance. So if we're not breathing correctly, we can't train optimally, and if we're not bracing correctly, then we risk injury. So for normal rep ranges, or for rep ranges 6 and above, we want to breathe in through the eccentric part of the movement and exhale through the concentric phase of the movement. So eccentric is always the easiest part, and the concentric phase is always the hard part. If we use a squat as an example, then correct breathing would be that way we're getting oxygen into the body, and we're also exerting it as we need to exert force. Now when we work in rep ranges 6 and below, because we're getting heavier and we're reaching somewhere near our maximal output, we want to make sure that we create more intra-abdominal tension, and we hold that intra-abdominal tension because we need that extra stability throughout the whole movement. So our breathing would change slightly, and it would go something like this. That way, as I breathe in, I'm creating intra-abdominal tension here into my midsection, and I'm holding that throughout the whole movement, and I only exhale when I'm at the easiest point, when I'm at rest. This way I'm safe to exhale and inhale again, because as I exhale, I slightly weaken my position. So if you watch my torso here, if I inhale, I'm then nice and strong through here, and as I exhale, I just slightly weaken. And that's okay if we're going 6 reps and above, because we're not pushing our maximum exertion outwards. So we can take that little bit of a hit. But when we're 6 reps and below, that's when it's important that we keep that intra-abdominal tension throughout the whole movement, and we only inhale, exhale at the top when we're resting. And that's the same for every movement, whether it's a squat, a bench press, or a shoulder press, or a pull. You want to inhale through the easy part and exhale through the hard part. So if we just use the shoulder press as an example, it would be and always it's shoulders back and down for every movement as well. This helps keep our thoracic nice and safe. The intra-abdominal tension that we create through inhaling keeps our lumbar nice and safe. And how we can work on improving this or getting this right is if we get a little resistance band and you tie it around your midsection. Now what we can do is, as we inhale, we can try to push out against the resistance band. We want to push out forwards, sideways and backwards. We want to make sure that this part of our body here is as big and as supported as possible. And once we can brace, we can then progress the weight that we lift, knowing that we're nice and safe. This tension is going to keep our lumbar back safe, and the shoulders back and down will keep our thoracic safe. Once you've learned how to brace correctly and you've progressed the weight, you're then going to get yourself into a position where you may need to use a lifting support belt. Now this is a great tool, but if you can't brace correctly, it's pretty much pointless. So we use the belt to help with our intra-abdominal tension, and we breathe out into the belt. And we use this as a bracing tool to support these abdominal muscles, because eventually you'll get to a point where you can squat maybe 200 kilos, that's my number, I can squat 200 kilos, but there's absolutely no way that my core can support 200 kilos. So I need that belt to help support me through that lift. So let's just run through that again. 6 reps and above, we want to inhale through the eccentric part and exhale through the concentric part. If it's 6 reps and below, we want to inhale, create intra-abdominal tension, and hold that tension throughout the whole rep. Inhale, exhale at the top of the movement, and begin again. We always want to make sure that when we are inhaling, we're not inhaling shallow into our lungs, we're inhaling deep into our abdominals, creating that intra-abdominal tension. Deep breath in, push forwards, sideways and backwards, creating a nice strong platform for your core. Right, thanks for tuning in guys. Stay tuned, plenty more content to come.